Racing hearts under floodlit skies, rubber burning where glory lies, speeding into a new surprise. Every week it's a new disguise. Malone with the flag held high, hot dog spirit cannot deny. Different tracks, a wild supply. Zoom in dreams, we chase or fly. Patreon league, we swerve, we glide. Every race, a world we ride. Different wheels, but the same mad side. Full throttle, we'll never hide. Beehive Bill brings the screen alive. Broadcasting vibes we can't contrive. Switching veins as engines strive. We'll keep it lit, we'll always thrive. New track bends, a shifting goal. Unknown roads that grip the soul. Through the turns we'll pay our toll. Mad Malone leads a roll call roll. Patreon league, we swerve, we glide. Every race, a world we ride. Different wheels, but the same mad side. Full throttle, we'll never hide. New track bends, a shifting goal. Unknown roads that grip the soul. Through the turns we'll pay our toll. Mad Malone leads a roll call roll. Patreon league, we swerve, we glide. Every race, a world we ride. Different wheels, but the same mad side. Full throttle, we'll never hide.
It's another Saturday, which means it's time for only one thing. Buckle up your seatbelts, ladies and gentlemen, and hold on tight. The Matt Malone Patreon League is about to begin!
It started out as something small, a group of racers crashing into walls. Each week they would have some fun. Get ready for the bump and run. But now it's something more. Hold on to your butts. This is what you asked for. Get ready to go nuts. It's the Matt Malone Patreon League. Get on track and join the big leagues. Prove yourself against the best. There's no time to stop, no time to rest. It's the Matt Malone Patreon League. We're out of the racing bush leagues. Can you beat Malone himself? Get ready to brace yourself. In May it all began for the first time. Had some incidents that could be classified as war crime. But it's never over until it's over. Still waiting for a rollover. What a way to pass the time. But make sure to hide your crimes. Are you ready for the next one? The league has just begun. It's the Matt Malone Patreon League. Get on track and join the big leagues. Prove yourself against the best. There's no time to stop, no time to rest. It's the Matt Malone Patreon League. We're out of the racing bush leagues. Can you beat Malone himself? Get ready to brace yourself. A full-time streamer and a league organizer, a hot dogger and a merchandiser, an asset tech hero and a race lab god. Nothing he can do can make you bored. Matt Malone has the best the Matt Malone Patreon League. Get on track and join the big leagues. Prove yourself against the best. There's no time to stop, no time to rest. It's the Matt Malone Patreon League. We're out of the racing bush leagues. Can you beat Malone himself? Get ready to brace yourself. Are you ready? It's about to begin. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hot dogging, it's Matt Malone.
The lights are down and away we go. We are green here at VIR. Richard Dempsey launches off the line from pole position as Matty Gwill tucks in behind. Is he going to go for the inside? Is he going to stay for the outside? He backs out of that, and it looks like a lot of drivers trying to get through without too much incident, and it looks like they have. Slugger goes for a wide line. It's not going to play out because here comes Matt Malone on the inside line. But heading up towards turn number 3 now, Slugger is going to be on the inside. There's some smoke in the background there, but Slugger holds it. Matt Malone backs slowly behind. Slugger up the inside of Matty Gwill. Matt Malone is going to try and push him up to roller coaster here. Are they going to go 2x2 for the race lead? They're not, but Slugger moves past Matty Gwill. Is going to be contact with Dempsey. No, he gets it perfectly in, and he's up to second position. But right now, someone who really wants a fight is Checkers. He's on the rear end of Matt Malone, but Slugger's going for Dempsey. Up at the front, Matt Malone's going for a wide move as well. Matt Malone's going to Matty Gwill. And he can't do it. Matty Gwill gets at the inside of Slugger. Slugger hit the rear end of Dempsey there. Just lots happening. They are side by side. Heading up towards turn number 3. Somehow Richard Dempsey holds it. He's going to move to the outside of turn number 11. He brakes early though. He doesn't really want to be on the outside of turn 11 there. Let's see what's happened. We're with Aulatufu, and it's a spin from the 15 ahead. A whole big collection of cars. Oh no, number 15 is Aulatufu. As this is back to the race lead, and it is an overtaking opportunity around the outside by Slugger once more. He's done it again. Matt Malone's on the outside of Checkers now, and behind Dempsey it's 2x2. They're going on to the arc. Can they get through turn number 3 cleanly? Slugger leads the way. Matt Malone is going to move into third position. This whole race is that Slugger off the racing surface there. That could give Matt Malone an opportunity heading up towards the Wiggles ahead. He's pushing Slugger. He moves to the left up towards turn number 7. He gets that inside line. Slugger allows him through, and Matt Malone gets to P7. What is Checkers doing? Going for a third race win this season as Matt Malone goes on the grass to try and make that move. He's got the inside line here. Can he make it stick? He has to back out of it, and he is going to go around the outside as Checkers goes up the inside. Can he go for the move? Is he going to go for the move? No, Checkers is going to go for the move on Richard Dempsey. Checkers and Dempsey side by side. Checkers gets forced out wide. Now Matt Malone is on his outside through turn number 15. Matt Malone's going to have to back out, and he can't do it. Richard Dempsey continues to lead the way. He's going to go for his inside, and will it be a move for the lead? Into roller coaster. Matt Malone is going to go for the lead around the outside. It will turn to the inside, and out of nowhere from P3, Matt Malone. Right now, what is going to happen? Up to turn 1, Checkers touches Dempsey's bottom. It makes him wiggle just a little bit into turn number 1. Who's going to hold this? Dempsey's on the outside. Matt Malone's on the inside. Checkers is going to try and follow Matt Malone through on that tighter line. He can't do it, but Dempsey is side by side with Matt Malone up through turn number 2. Dempsey returns to the lead, but Matt Malone's going to push it as hard as he can on the wide line. He can't do it. He's going to pull back across, and here comes Checkers to go on the inside. Is it going to be clean? Is it going to be contact? It's going to be clean. Matt Malone holds it as he goes through turn number 5. It's going to have pulled ahead. Matt Malone, it sticks to the inside. It's still 3 wide. Matty Gwill ahead in P number 4. They head onto the brakes. Who wants this more? It's Matt Malone on the outside. Matt Malone takes it. Dempsey looks to the outside. He switches it to the inside. He hits Matt Malone. Richard Dempsey takes out Matt Malone. the man who caused the crash, or the man who was involved in the crash. It's the man who caused it. The number 14 moves through, but here comes Nick Bowen. And he's going to try and get involved in this one. And he's going to go side by side. Richard Dempsey, Matt Malone are going to have to back out of that. Nick Bowen comes through. That's Totally Racing as well. He is going to push Checkers on the outside line. Then he backs out of it. He wants to see what's going to happen. Slugger runs deep. Checkers switches back across. There's contact. And it looks like Slugger's got the position just ahead. He cuts across to defend that line as they both go over the grass round the final turn. The 502 leads to 105. Checkers is off. He's got to slow down. Here comes Matty Quill. But Slugger, after getting pole in Okayama, takes the win. Matty Quill's going to take second. Who's going to take fourth? It's a crash across the line. It's a crash across the line. Richard Dempsey takes fourth. Matt Malone takes fifth. Good afternoon, race fans, and welcome to the virtual Summit Point Raceway for a fantastic special race of Matt Malone of the Matt Malone Patreon League here for round 8 of season 1. With just 4 rounds left on the calendar, the championship fight is well underway, and our new winner, Slugger, sits at the top of the standings, but only a point away from the chasing pack. It's a whole new style of racing tonight. Track limits? What are they? Damage? What's that? Nope. Today ignores the usual rules of iRacing because we are going rallycross racing on a road course. With Dempsey being our first repeat pole sitter last week at VIR, will someone else be able to repeat the feat again today? Or will we see a 7th different pole sitter in the inaugural season of the Matt Malone Patreon League? Our drivers are going to be attacking the virtual tarmac shortly for the 20 minutes open qualifying session. They're going to have to stay on track for qualifying, but get ready for that to change in the race. 169 incident points before receiving a penalty, and that will be a goal to hit in just a 20-minute race. Slugger, taking victory last week, moves us up to 5 different race winners this season. Matt Malone and Richard Dempsey with 2 apiece, Matty Quill, Air Taco, and now Slugger with 1 each. But before we focus too much on today's race and the standings before round 8, let's have a gander at what we have coming up to round off season 1 of the Matt Malone Patreon League. We head off to Watkins Glen next week, the day after Freedom Day, with the American Muscle GT3 cars. The Mustang and Corvette will be tearing up the virtual tarmac. We then have our final week's break and will return on July 19th with the Formula 4s at Portland International Raceway. I managed to turn my 1.3ki rating into a 2ki rating with that car track combo when Portland first released. A favourite of mine for sure. And then finally, I can't believe it's almost that time, but we will be heading to Daytona in the GT3s for the season's finale, round 11, on July 26th. 3 months of racing and it's already almost over. It's gone way too quickly. If you have missed any of the races so far, you can watch all race replays on the Beehive Bill YouTube channel. And if you don't have enough time to watch them all, the extended highlight videos are also available to watch. The Matt Malone Patreon League continues here today at Summit Point Raceway. If you want to get behind the virtual wheel and go head-to-head against Matt Malone and all our other league personalities, then head across to Matt Malone's Patreon and subscribe today. This series is open to all of Malone's Patriots, so we will see a wide spread of skill level out on track each week. from those who have been racing on the service for more than a decade and those who have just jumped on to iRacing this year. Our drivers are all sharing the same virtual tarmac and going for the coveted Matt Malone prizes at the end of the season. With just 4 weeks left to go and 2 drop weeks already being applied, let's have a look at how our season standings look heading in to round number 8. Slugger jumps up 3 places in the standings and takes the lead of the championship with his win at VIR last week in the Mazdas. 101 points to his name, a mighty height above Matt Malone, sat in P2 on just 100 points to his name. Slugger's consistency is paying off, and the win sealing the deal to place him at the head of the standings. Matty Grill also drops a place in the standings to 3rd with 97 points to his name. Another victory would secure a solid lead for him. Dempsey, with only 4 races to his name, held on to the 4th place in the standings with a solid result at VIR, albeit a crash across the line following some interesting antics, we shall say. However, Dempsey's not going to be here today, so a chance for Big Owl Latufu, to move up the order into the top 4 with some consistent running today. Checkers, he's flown up the standings the past few weeks, coming from outside the top 10, I believe 12th or 13th from the race before Charlotte. He's now tied on points with Stingray Graham, but the greater consistency for Graham so far this season has kept him higher up than Checkers in the season up until this point. Mecharm is in 8th, and Nick Bowen sits behind in 9th. Bob's Jelly, he moves into the top 10 for the first time this season with a strong 52 points to his name. He is going to be trying to climb even further up the order, coming up 2 places since last week. The 2-mile circuit here opened in 1973. It boasts a technical layout. Rookie drivers, it is one that they know for sure from the Mazdas all the way through into different series that you race in as well. This is a circuit that you know well. However, the technicality, the racing lines, all of the usual things iRacers have to think about, or they can throw that out the window today. They're going to be ignoring that because they're going to be extending track limits. They're going to be ignoring all the racing lines because they have almost 200 incident points to throw away in this race. Cars are going to be over the grass, over the gravel during the race. Not qualifying though, they need to get in a valid lap in order to be qualifying near the front. But I hope you are ready for today's event because it is going to be a hectic one. No damage. 169 available incident points. It's round 8 of the Matt Malone Patreon League. And I hope you are all having a fantastic week and you have calmed down from last week's Mazda race. I certainly haven't. That one, I don't think I have shouted that loud in quite some time. It was hectic all around, but it was absolutely brilliant. We are going to get ourselves into the session. We are a couple of minutes late today, but we are going to get ourselves out and hopefully we will see an amazing qualifying session going around the Summit Point Raceway. Like I say, in qualifying, we're going to have the track limits because of the way that the system works. You have to put in a valid lap in order for it to be counted. So drivers are going to be staying on the racing surface for most of this qualifying session. I think towards the end of the qualifying session, possibly even when we jump in, we'll start to see drivers start to extend lines, explore where they can go ready for the race, because we are not going to see drivers on the virtual tarmac very much, even though that is something that I say welcome to the virtual tarmac. we're not going to see our drivers on it very much because there are some fantastic wider routes, faster wider routes in these VW Beetles that our drivers will be jumping through because it is going to give them an excellent opportunity to make some overtakes and possibly along that main straight, 5, 6 wide. Could we go for even more? It's going to be an interesting one. One thing I haven't looked at is if we are doing a standing start or a rolling start, and I'm going to check that now. I think it is going to be a standing start, which I think is going to make it a fun launch down to turn number 1. But let's see here. It is a standing start, which is excellent. So yeah, down towards turn number 1, it is going to be a huge pile of cars deciding where on earth they want to go because they can go absolutely anywhere. I'm going to get Atvo launched so that we can get some overlays and hopefully, because I'm launching it before I'm actually in the server, by about 2 seconds we won't have any issues. But to be fair, we're going to be watching all the battles go around and we're going to try and avoid all of the incidents because I don't think we're going to have time for replays today. So seeing everything is not going to be mean too much today. Right, let's get our overlay working. It was, and then it disappeared again. We'll have to relaunch that. It seemed to have crashed as iRacing loaded. Let's get ourselves across on to this then. Okay, I think we are... No, it's gone again. Atvo has gone for a 3rd time and has decided... Right, are you going to stay this time? Let's hope we've got some overlay. If we don't, I've got some other software we can use if needed, but I think we're going to be okay here. I think it was just deciding to be a little bit silly, as Atvo likes to be occasionally. Right, let's get that there. We'll load that up, and then we can get ourselves sorted and ready here for the Matt Malone Patreon League. There are drivers, a lot of drivers out on track already. And we will jump across to them in 1 moment's time. As you know, I do this all by myself, so I do have to do everything whilst talking to you and trying to get things to go. So we will get the live timing started as well. And then I can get everything else up and running so we can get ourselves across into the broadcast. I can see it. It's all working. Is the session events working? Yes, they are. Everything is going to be working for me today, which is exactly what we want on a race like this. It is going to be amazing. So, without further ado, let's show you the screens. Here we are. We're at Summit Point, and we have got a fantastic amount of racing to go. I need to do this over on the interwebs because mine is broken. And it doesn't like to log into things. It's excellent. Right. Let's have a look. Who's out at the moment? Big Owls, the man at the front of the field right now. And he is the man that is going to want to finally get his win. He has not got a win so far this season. But he has been close. Can he finally get it today? Let's get our... layout up here. He's slightly wide there. He is the fastest, as I say, right now. Bob's Jelly. He's just come into the top 10 for the first time this season. He's 2nd fastest at the moment. Let's get ourselves our qualifying gaps here, and let's get ourselves our driver information. Here is the Orient. What is it? With Matt Malone's Patreon and food-based liveries, it seems to be the go-to for almost all of the field is some sort of food-based livery. I love it, but I am now feeling really peckish, and I'm not going to be able to eat for the next hour. So, it looks like we've got some black flags for Totally Racing, so he's going to have to go back down to pit lane to restart his laps, as Bob's Jelly decides he wants to find a different way into pit lane. That was through the trees. Here is Matty Gwill. Matty Gwill is 3rd in the championship, 3rd in qualifying at the moment. He's taken a victory all the way back in round 3. Is he going to be able to find that victory lane again? He's got 2nd at round 5 and round 7. He didn't do well. 16th place at the Charlotte race, the alternate race in this league, as it were. This is the second alternate race in the league, as it were. So will he do well here or not? Right now, third position is pretty good. Matt Malone, he's in fifth position right now. No, he's not, because the Hernster and it looks like Nick Bowen moves up ahead. Here's Matt Malone. He's decided that this is the racing line he's going for. It's called not driving. Neil Trotter, he's in 8th position at the moment in qualifying. I can't believe only the top 4 are within a second of Big Al. And no one's within half a second of Big Al at the moment. Checkers is in the field now. Checkers is a driver I do want to be watching today. You've got to keep an eye out on Checkers today, because this is the really important thing. Checkers has moved from outside the top 10, 12th, 13th place just a couple of weeks ago, even lower than that before, all the way into 6th position now in the championship. And I think that's a phenomenal climb. And if he keeps it up, he does. I say he does have an opportunity here to challenge for some top positions. His worst counted results, because his 2 drop weeks are weeks that he's not raced. So his worst, this is Checkers, by the way, that we're talking about. So let's go and have a look. Here he is. So his worst results, not including the drop weeks, are 24th, 1 non-points finish, and 11th. He's got 2 third places and a 5th. So without those 2 missed races, could we have seen possibly an even higher position in the championship? We're going to see it if he can move up the order today. 22 cars in the field for today's race, which is hectic when we are thinking about the different racing lines. Matt Malone has decided that he really likes to sit on the outside here. I think he's talking to everyone in the server. We don't get all of the audio here for very good reason, because it would just be yelling even more so than just my yelling as the race goes on. Here is Slugger, championship leader for the first time this season in the Matt Malone Patreon livery. Slugger with a victory last week. Can he go back to back after waiting 2 months for his victory that he wanted to get all the way back at Okayama when he was fighting Matt Malone for that win in the GT4s? And around goes the police officer next to him there. I believe that was Dodo Deadman, and there is Slugger. He decides to abandon this lap as well. Matty Gwill has moved to second, just a 10th off of Big Al. Bob's Jelly is just 2 tenths. Nick Bowen has also gone within that half a second gap. Oh, as it looks like that was Slugger deciding, actually, I want to continue running on this set of tyres. And he's running around again. It looks like we've got 23 drivers, and that might be how many we have then, as Carl Ditch has also joined us. Carl Ditch is a name that I remember doing on the championship standings the last couple of weeks. He wasn't here last week, but in his first race at round number 5, he finished in 19th, so he has got points. Places in 43rd in the championship. The top 45 drivers are with points at the moment. Now, of course, we've got 3 more races to go after this one. We've got a whole month of racing to go. There's just 1 week we're not doing because of the Spa 24 hours, I believe it is. So if you want to take part in the end of the season, have a bit of fun, see what it's all about, go over to Matt Malone's Patreon, subscribe, and you can get down on track and join all his fellow Patriots and get on the broadcast as well and do the best you possibly can. We've got some good races coming up in the American Muscle GT3 machines, in the Formula 4s and the GT3s at the end of the season as well. And listening to the comments that were made by Matt Malone and the rest of the Team Turkey team, it certainly seems like the update to the GT3s is finally all the updates they've ever done. It looks like this one may have actually been a decent upgrade and worth driving those GT3s. So the end of this season might be an incredibly fun race down at Daytona. I recently got into the GT3s for the first time, driving that Mustang. Had to buy it for the league, so I thought, why not? Let's get in there, get in the Mustang, go around Daytona, and I have to say, I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. Really lovely muscle. So we are watching Matty Grill. He's in second, but Tony Jabroni has just moved up to P5. You can see some gravel being kicked up in the background there. We're going to be seeing that a hell of a lot in the race today. This is Checkers, the man who has climbed to 6th place in the championship. He's 9th place right now, a second off of Big Al, and he has abandoned his run of a good qualifying lap. He is going for practicing the lines that he needs in the race, as it looks like someone's gone for next day delivery down at the very front of the this pack of drivers, and the Amazon man's out and about here at Summit Point. Apex Minion, 10th position. I don't think we've seen Apex Minion in quite some time, have we? I'm trying to find where he is in my championship. Apex Minion. I've actually lost him. Here he is, Brian Stockmar. We haven't seen Apex Minion. I knew we hadn't seen him in a while. Since round 1, the last time Apex Minion took part in the Matt Malone Patreon League was at Okayama. And guess where this man finished? P3. That's why I couldn't find him. I knew we hadn't seen him for a very long time. Round 1 was the last time we saw him, but he sits 29th in the championship because of his one result being 3rd position, which is absolutely phenomenal. It's nice to see you back, Apex Minion. I'm looking forward to seeing how you can do here. Can he get another top 5? Possibly. Could he go even higher this time? He sits in 12th right now. It's Big Al, fastest at the moment, but Matty Grill is putting his hardest to go faster than that, but Checkers has come just in. Look how close the top 3 are now. All you need here is Matt Malone, and you have the top 5 that are here today, all at the very top of the field. Matt Malone, however, is down in 15th position, and he has only just gone back out. This is the latest I think I've ever seen Matt Malone head out, but it doesn't look like he's going for valid laps. And we're going to go and have a little look here. Matt Malone, let's see if he is going to go for any valid laps. As he heads down to turn number 1, that's certainly not the quickest way through turn number 1, I would say. So that is not going for a hot lap from him. How about Checkers, though? Is Checkers going to be pushing any harder? Is Matty Grill going to be pushing any harder in 3rd and 2nd position to take pole away from Big Al? If Big Al gets pole here, it will be our 7th different pole sitter in 8 races. Big Al yet to win a race, yet to sit on pole position, but right now he is there. He is at the top of this standing, so this could be an interesting one to see if we can get that. But Matty Grill and Checkers certainly not going to let them get away with that, as Apex Minion moves up in the 6th. Like I said, he could be a name to watch out for here. He's not raced since round 1, but he got that 3rd position result, so we could see him up there inside that top 5 in a 2nd race of the season. Here's Totally Racing. He's decided to take the Corona out. Hopefully he's being sensible, not drinking and driving whilst he's out on the virtual tarmac here. Of course, he can break out a Corona at the end of the race and celebrate whatever position he finishes in. Let's just celebrate. Let's all celebrate at the end of the race. We'll all break out a Corona, have a drink. Right. Big Al at top of the standings, Matty Grill 2nd, Checkers 3rd. It's a bit of a gap then down to Bob's Jelly, but like I said, I'm interested that Bob's Jelly is here in P4. He's recently, well, this time is the first time he's got into the top 10 in the standings this season, and he's now in 4th here. He's going to move further up the order. Nick Bowen in the top 10, he's 5th. Apex Minion, like we said, coming back into it, he's 6th. Mecharm top 10 in 7th. Tony Jabroni has dropped out of the top 10 and down to 13th. He's inside the top 10 in qualifying at the moment. Slugger's there, championship leader in P9. And the Hernster. Oh, that is so lovely to see the Hernster there in 10th position in the standings right now. He's 22nd in the overall standings, so it's nice to see him here in the top 10 of qualifying. But let's go back up towards the front then, because it's Matty Grill looking to get past, and he does it. He crosses the line. Matty Grill is on provisional pole by 0.2 of a second. This will be his first pole position since round number 3, which, if I'm thinking back correctly, I can't think all the way back to round number 3. What was round number 3, guys? Let's have a quick look. What was round number 3? It was the Radicals at Mosport. Was the last time that Matty Gwill was on pole position. And there's a big wreck in front of him there. But no damage, of course. Remember that. No damage in this race today. It is going to be excellent. But Matty Gwill, can he take his second pole of the season? Will Big Al recover? No, he has dropped. He's stopped. He won't be putting in another lap, so he will not take pole. Can Checkers do it? Can any driver behind do it? That's the session checkered. We're into the final 2 minutes. Any drivers now that cross the line, that is a checkered flag for them. So drivers are on their last lap. Checkers look like he stayed within track limits there, which is good news for him. Matt Malone, not good news for him. He's 16th, but he is on a last run lap here. So he is on an opportunity to improve, but he has got a couple of cars around him. So I don't think he is going to improve. And this will be the lowest race start that Matt Malone will have had this entire season. And that includes his recovery drive from a poor result in Laguna, from poor qualifying Laguna Seca. Checkers, though, has decided to abandon his final lap run. He's not going to do it. This is Bob's Jelly. Matt Malone was directly behind Bob's Jelly, and there he is. He is still behind Bob's Jelly, but he has dropped down a bit, so it's not going to be improvement. Look at that line, though. This is going to be so much fun watching these cars run around. But 23 cars in this race. This is going to be fun. Qualifying coming to a close here. So let's have a look at the grid here as qualifying comes to a close. It's Matty Gwill who is going to start on pole position for the second time this season. Big Al will start from P number 2. A nice front row start for him. Checkers, he is just returning back to the top here. He's looking to fight the championship leaders as best as he can with 2 races missed. He's in 3rd. Bob's Jelly is in 4th. Following him is Nick Bowen. Apex Minion returning to the series after a 6-race absence. Sorry. He returns here in round number 8. We saw him last at round number 1, where he got a 3rd. Slugger, championship leader, is in 7th. Then it decided to skip through without me telling it to. 8th position will be Mecharm. 9th is Tony Jabroni, and the Hernster will start in 10th. Then we've got Stingray Graham in 11th. It's Lap Traffic in 12th. Powski from 13th, followed by Totally Racing. Provi is in 15th, and then Matt Malone 2nd in the championship, 16th on the grid. Neil Trotter is in 17th, followed by Mintu the White Husky in 18th, Scrubbertron in 19th, Kyle Ditch in 20th. And then we will get through to the rest of the field as everything breaks. It is Right Click in 21st, Greg Fronek in 22nd, and DDO Deadman in 23rd position. There is the field lining up on the grid. Matty Gwill leading that way. We're just waiting for a couple of drivers to head out. We expect about 16 laps, but this is going to be an absolute explosive one. No damage. 169 incident points. Who cares about track limits? Who cares about car contact? This is going to be one for the ages. So I hope you are ready, because it looks like all of our drivers are. We're going to prepare ourselves here and head up towards turn number 1 for 20 minutes of racing. The lights are set.
Green.
And we are green, and we are away here at Summit Point, heading down towards turn number 1. Big Al tucked behind Matty Gwill as they head up towards that first turn. Checkers on the inside of Bob's Jelly. Can Big Al get the position? No, Matty Quill holds it through turn number 1. All of them staying on the track there. It looks like that was the best line for them as they head up now through turn number 3. They're going to push it wide over the gravel. Who cares? As they get up towards turn number 5, they're going to be heavy on the brakes. I think we're going to see a number of cars go around here. I think we're going to see a number of cars lose it at some point during this race as we go down the order. Matt Malone has somehow got 11th position on the start here. Starting on from 15th position, Nick Bowen drops a position. Slugger is up to 6th right now. He's also had a very good start, as that is Slugger deciding to run the slightly wider line there. It certainly worked out for him in keeping him ahead. As we come round the final corner, driver's not too wide. Slugger going extremely wide in fact in the background. Here comes Checkers. He's going to head on to the outside. Matty Quill goes defensive on the inside line. That was Bob's Jelly moving to Big Al. The top 4 remain where they are. Here is Stingray Graham, but that's behind. It is going to be the Hernster going up the inside of Matt Malone. He needs to get his package delivered. And the Hernster goes up to 11th position. Matt Malone drops down to 12th. He's got Totally Racing on his rear as they head up towards turn number 3. Are they going to go for the wider line? Are they going to go for the tighter line? Are they going to try and avoid that tyre barrier? They all do. But a lot of gravel being kicked up, and that is going to make the circuit itself very slippery as well. But Big Al has moved into the lead. Matty Quill loses behind Bob's Jelly as well. So he's had some sort of issue into turn number 5, but he's side by side with Bob's Jelly. He's going to try and return into P number 2. He can't do it. He drops down to P number 3. Matt Malone has got back past Hernster in the background right now. But Big Al has pulled a gap of almost a second out in the lead as Matt Malone and the Hernster hit the barriers in the background. They're off and they are out. Not what the driver in P2 in the championship needed. The Hernster trying to get himself around. A lot of cars around in the background there. But this is Matty Quill looking up the inside of Bob's Jelly to return to P number 2. And he can do it, but is Bob's Jelly going for an up and over? It looks like he's going to go for the cut underneath. And he can't quite do it. He's going to have to remain in P3 for Bob's Jelly. Big Al pulling away. Slugger is on the outside of Apex Minion. He's somehow moved his way up in the 4th, keeping out of the tyre barrier. He does, but he comes on. And there's contact, and out goes the championship leader. Slugger is down and recovered to pit lane. Slugger, Checkers, Matt Malone, big names in this championship, all down. Right now, it's Big Al, though, leading the way, the Hernster, with a black flag. Surely that's a speeding penalty rather than reaching that instant limit already. Nick Bowen looking to go past Apex Minion up the inside of the final turn. The 21 machine on the outside, the 10 on the inside. Bowen 6 behind right now. He's got Stingray Graham behind as well. This is going to throw a big wrench in the works. Matty Quill at this rate is going to lead the championship at the end of this race. There's Matt Malone out of pit lane. He is a lap down. He's not involved in this fight anymore. As this is Nick Bowen on the right hand side. He is going to go for the outside of Apex Minion now for P number 4. Are they going to give each other enough room? Of course they are. They've got the whole circuit and more. They stay completely clean and Nick Bowen gets the position, but here comes Powski. He's side by side with Stingray Graham. He's on the outside. He's gone for the later brakes. It's not going to work out for him. He's going to get the gravel. Powski, and side by side he's got the inside of Stingray Graham now. He moves up the order and Powski moves in to 6th position past Stingray Graham. Nick Bowen holds on to 4th position right now, but it's Meckham just behind. He's in the top 10 of the championship. He's going to want to take advantage of any issues that go on ahead of him. That's Matt Malone a lap down behind. He is watching this fight. He's probably going to get involved in it, but not for positions, not for points. Matt Malone is out of points right now. Checkers is out of the race, unfortunately. Driver sticking over to the right-hand side there. Looks like that might be Slugger returning to track. It is, and him and Matt Malone are going to be racing for position as Apex Minion gets the inside of Nick Bowen up towards turn number 1, and he has moved into 4th position. Nick Bowen down to 5th, but they're side by side. Nick Bowen's not going to let that just happen. A little bit sideways though. I thought that was about to go 3 wide. It's not, but that is Powski getting involved. It's going to be the inside, but it's going to turn to the outside as he heads into turn number 5. Apex Minion holds on. Nick Bowen holds on. Powski might be under attack here from Stingray Graham around the outside. The Gyps High machine, the number 6 machine, not going to be able to do it. Tucks in behind the 03. Back up towards the lead though, because Big Al and Matty Gwill are both in the championship fight. Matty Gwill more so. Bob's Jelly has just got into the top 10. He's in 3rd. These 3 drivers, are they going to risk it all for the win? Or are they going to just try and bring it home because the championship could be theirs with a brilliant result here? As that's the Hernster coming out of pit lane. He's decided to drop off his first package of the day. As that's a bit of a nudge there. Matty Quill giving Big Al the boost on through turn number 1. We head up to turn 3 and there's a car on its side there. Who is that? I think that's Greg Gorilla Fronek on his side out of turn number 2. Different lines being chosen there by Big Al and Matty Gwill. Matty Gwill deciding to stay on the surface of the racing track, not Matty Gwill. Nick Bowen and Apex Minion are side by side again, and this time Bowen is through. Is there going to be contact? No, they get all onto the brakes. Oh, there is a little bit of a nudge, just the smallest of nudges, and they're all through. It's Matt Malone on his side. I am seeing it is Matt Malone who has rolled his car out of turn number 2, which is a real shame for him. He's managed to get it back onto his wheels, however, and he is down in 22nd and a lap behind the Hernster, so his race is very much over here. Bob's Jelly has dropped off the back of this lead fight, but Matty Quill looked to the inside, decided not to go for it into turn number 1. Big Al is going to hold on to that. Mintu the White Husky, he's doing pretty good here in P11, looking to take advantage of any more issues in front, but this is still the big gaggle of drivers, and right now there are 2 cars in side by side. That's Nick Bowen and Tony Jabroni. Tony Jabroni is in 19th, a lap down. He goes wide. Is he going to stay out of the way for this big field of drivers? He says, screw it. No, I'm not about that. I'm here to race, and he's racing indeed. Who cares about blue flags? Let's just have a lot of fun, and that's exactly what we're doing. So right now, the leader of this train of drivers is 19th place Tony Jabroni in this battle for P4. Can Nick Bowen find a way through? It doesn't look like he can. Apex Minion is trying to take advantage of Nick Bowen being held up here. Nick Bowen moves to the right-hand side. Is there going to be enough room as the driver's into the wall there? Who is that? I think that was Mecharm. No, it wasn't. It was... I'm not sure who that was that went off in the background there. Maybe a driver a lap down. But Carl Ditch gets past Neil Trotter there. Back up to this fight. Apex Minion right behind Nick Bowen, moves to the inside. Tony Jabroni sticks on the outside. Remember, he is a lap down. He's not in this fight, but he's very much a part of it. Nick Bowen gets a bit of a push there from Apex Minion. In fact, Powski takes advantage of that, moves to his right-hand side. Powski and Apex Minion now side by side. There's more contact. Apex Minion holds on. Is Powski going to go into the wall? No, he's not. Yes, he is. He hits the wall. He's down a couple of positions. Stingray Graham and Mecharm get through. Nick Bowen leads Apex Minion. In fact, Nick Bowen leads Tony Jabroni. No, he doesn't, but that's contact. He takes Tony Jabroni with some contact, but Tony Jabroni holds it. He's tried to get him off the racing track, get him out of the way. And Jabroni's just sticking his fingers up to the drivers behind him right now. He stays right behind. This is absolutely brilliant. But Tony Jabroni, is he going to go for defending here? Or is Nick Bowen going to go for it? Nick Bowen has to back out. Jabroni goes for a really wide, fast line. He's going to come back on and he's got it. That really wide line gives him a nice bit of gap. So actually, Jabroni, a lap down, has got better racecraft at the moment with the racing lines here than the leaders do. Well, I say the leaders, the battle for the top 4. I am keeping an eye on the gap between Big Al and Matty Quill. It's consistently stayed between 2 and 5 tenths of a second, so I am keeping an eye on it. But right now, there's nothing to be too interested in. There's a big slide from Mecca. What was that? And a big hot hit. It almost looked like he slammed on his handbrake right in the corner entry there. A bit too much handbrake, if you ask me. Slowed him right down, and then a big, big hit. But this is the fight still going on for P number 4. It is now just a fight for P number 4, because here's Tony Jabroni. He's been overtaken by Bowen, Apex Minion, and Stingray Graham. So at least these 3 drivers are away in 4th, 5th, and 6th position. But right now, this is going to be an interesting one. Who finishes up ahead? We are somehow just over halfway through this race. I already feel like it's been about 6 races. This is the fight for the lead, and right now it's returned to being extremely close for the top 3 drivers. Big Al, Matty Quill, and Bob's Jelly separated by less than a second, as Apex Minion has got past Nick Bowen up towards turn number 1 when we finally switch off of them. Apex Minion gets through, but looks like Nick Bowen's not going to have that. He's going to try and get through. No, he can't do it. No, he's going to have to stay behind at the moment. Who's that off the track? I think that was Tony Jabroni off the track in the background, so we haven't got to worry. I was just wondering who was going for the alternate racing line there, and I think it is still Jabroni holding on to that. Right now, though, Nick Bowen is going to look to try and find his way back past Apex Minion if he can. Neil Trotter and Right Click are swapping some positions. Or either I'm just having some issues with my timing again, which always seems to happen. 7 minutes left on the clock right now. And actually, this fight, all of them into pit lane. Big Al, Matty Quill, Bob's Jelly come to a stop. I didn't know this was going to be a thing, but they're all down pit lane. They're all going to have to get tyres, it looks like, possibly some fuel. Who was that? That went really quickly there. Was that? I'm not sure, but that was a really quick stop by Matty Quill. Big Al comes out, massively behind. There's Bob's Jelly. Nick Bowen has gained a huge amount there. Here's Pawski. Pawski's not pitted yet. 7 seconds Matty Quill has found in pit lane. I didn't know we were pitting, but we have pitted, and Matty Quill is down. Sorry, he's up 7 seconds in that pit stop. Bob's Jelly has fallen a further 3 seconds back. So obviously Matty Quill thought about what his pit stop needed, because he has gained a huge amount of time there, and our battle for the lead is no longer a battle for the lead as we head into the last 6 minutes of this race. I think that pit stop, as it always does in racing series that are short like this, has ruined our fight for the lead. I always find pit stops in shorter races like this do cause races to be ruined, and we have just seen that. A terrible shame that our battle for the lead has gone away, but we might get a battle for 3rd position instead. Bob's Jelly is half a second ahead of Nick Bowen, half a second ahead of Pawski. Not the closest drivers on track though. That is Provi behind Mintu the White Husky, heading up towards the 10th and final turn. He ducks to the inside. A little bit of smoke there. Was that a lock-up from Provi? Interesting. You don't need any brakes into that turn, so I don't know how he's locked up going into there. But back to this fight then, because Pawski, is that Tony Jabroni again? No, that was a different driver involved this time. So is Tony Jabroni getting involved in this again? No, he's not. Bob's Jelly 2 tenths ahead of Nick Bowen, 6 tenths out of Pawski. A little bit of a gap here. Do you know what? For the first time, we're going to ride on board with somebody today. We've not done this yet. This is on board Pawski. He's in P5. He's chasing down Nick Bowen, who's chasing down Bob's Jelly, who's chasing down Big Al. This is now a fight for second position. So Matty Grill, 9 seconds ahead. Yes, he is going to win this race unless he has some big issues. But we do have an opening for the battle for P2. Big Al leading that right now. He has got second position in this race in the season before. He got that all the way back in round 2. Can he match his best here? Bob's Jelly is in third position right now. His best result is a 5th. He could be improving that here. Nick Bowen is in 4th place right now. His best result so far this season has been a 5th. That's an improvement as well. And Powski is currently in 5th, and his best result is a 7th. So Bob's Jelly, Nick Bowen, Powski all going for their personal best race results of the season. But Big Al, Latufu, looking to match his second place here. Right now, these drivers have gapped just a little bit. It is now only 7.5 seconds between Matty Grill and Big Al, but with 3.5 minutes left on the clock, I am not too sure that there's going to be too many issues there. Probably being pushed by Matt Malone. Matt Malone obviously sitting a lap down off of DDO Deadman. So probably getting some help here, trying to get into 9th position past Mintu the White Husky. It is a top 10 result for Provi here, which I do think will be his best. His best so far this season is an 18th. So a huge improvement for him. Same with Mintu the White Husky, I believe. His best result, 2 12th positions. So Mintu the White Husky looking for his improvement as well. So for a lot of drivers today, it is an improvement. Matt Malone slides it. Will he save it? He saves it. He uses that ace attack. He keeps it on track. Powski here, right behind Nick Bowen. It has opened up the gaps near the front. But Powski is still on the back of Nick Bowen here. This is the battle for 4th position. Both of these drivers going for their best results of the season. But which way round will it be as we head into the last 2.5 minutes of this race, and with a lap time being about 1 minute and 17 seconds, I'm going to say we've got about 2 more laps after this one. Powski still chasing down Nick Bowen here, doesn't have any help behind, drivers ahead, just a little bit of a gap, just waiting for some issues. Championship leader, here he is, the number 5 machine, it's Slugger. He's down in 16th place right now, and with Matty Grill looking to take his second victory of the season, he's going to gain all of those points and not drop any additional points. So he will fly to the top. At this rate, Slugger is not going to... No, Slugger is going to gain his 6th... No, he's not. Slugger will drop his 16th place result, and he will gain back his 8th place result that he has lost. So even though Slugger's finishing down in 16th, he will technically finish in 8th, but that still won't be enough to hold on to that 4-point lead that he has over Matty Grill right now. So Matty Grill looking to take the lead in this championship. Big Al definitely will go past Richard Dempsey, because with this result, he will just gain all of his points and won't drop any. I'm going to say that he has a real chance to get past Matt Malone, very possibly as well, but don't count me on that. No! Yes, because Matt Malone has already dropped 2 DNFs, so this will just be, he's not going to gain any points here today. So that is going to be an interesting one, see how the championship is going to fare at the end of this one. Right, this is Apex Minion. He's all over the end of lap traffic. It's nice to see him again, like I said, 3rd place at the very start of the season. But it's not going to be a 3rd place here, but it still could be a strong one. He's chasing down lap traffic. He's got Stingray Graham behind him. And by saying he's chasing down lap traffic, I mean the driver, not like lap traffic. It's the driver lap traffic. That's number 14 machine. It makes sense. That's who he's going for. He won 6th place in this race. Can Powski do anything? Up ahead, up towards turn number 1 on Nick Bowen. He just can't decide. Outside, inside. He finally decides the outside, possibly going for a switchback. This is the white flag lap here. And here is the man that has just pulled away. He held on to that lead once he got into it. It took him a little while to get there, but once he's there, with the pit stop advantage. I mean, Big Al is quick. Big Al has halved the gap of 7 seconds that there was between Matty Gwill and himself after those pit stops. He just didn't have enough time. Matty Gwill, for the second time this season, he got pole position. And for the second time this season, Matty Gwill is going to win a Matt Malone Patron League event. He crosses the line, victor in P1. Big Al takes second. Bob's Jelly holds on to third ahead of Nick Bowen and Pawski. Apex Minion will cross the line in sixth ahead of Stingray Graham and Lap Traffic, who fell down at the end. Mintu, the White Husky, will cross the line to finish ninth. Provi will cross the line in his best result by far. P10, just behind him, Mecharm, Carl Ditch and Neil Trotter. Here comes Right Click in 14th place. Totally Racing in 15th. And the man, the myth, the legend, I have to say, former championship leader heading into round number 8 here at Summit Point. He will cross the line. Slugger in 16th position. Scrubbertron takes 17th. Tony Jabroni, the Hernster, DDO Deadman, Matt Malone, Greg Willifonic and Checkers all finishing this race. I mean, Checkers not finishing this race, even though we just went through the entire grid as they came across the line. Let's have another showing of the race results. Matty Gwill won from pole position, but not without a fight. That pit stop, it gave him all he needed to dominate the end of the race. Big Al crossed the line in second, followed by Bob's Jelly. Nick Bowen came across the line in fourth. Pawski, Apex Minion, Stingray Graham, Lap Traffic, Mintu, the White Husky, and Provi rounded out the top 10. It was then in 11th position. If it wants to show me, it does not want to go to the next page. 11th position was Mecharm, Kyle Ditch in 12th, followed by Neil Trotter. Right Click in 14th, Totally Racing cross the line in 15th. Slugger in 16th, followed by Scrubbertron, Tony Jabroni, the Hernster, and DDO Deadman getting the last points of this race. And if I'm not mistaken, for some of those drivers, it's their first points of the season. I'm just having a look here to see if I can see. No, I thought it was DDO Deadman's first points, but he has got a 19th place before he gets the 20th here. So not his first points. But continuing down to the end of the field then, it was Matt Malone and Greg Fronek in 21st and 22nd position, both out of the points. And Checkers DNFing after such a good run of form, DNFing here at the very end of, well, actually about halfway through that. Actually quite early on, about 4 or 5 laps into that race. So he went out pretty quickly, actually. I don't know why I said at the very end. It was not at the very end at all. He left really early. Anyway, what a race that was. I have to say I am disappointed in the pit stop. Without that pit stop, we could have had a true three-way fight all the way to the end for the race lead. I do feel like that pit stop ruined that fight for us, but we did have a lot of fun throughout the rest of the race and for some of the other positions. So, without further ado, hopefully the championships results will now be available for us to have a peruse at. You do have to give me a moment trying to work out championship names in this. Matty Gwill takes the lead of the championship. Let's show you here. There he is. Matty Gwill takes the lead of the championship. 122 points to his name. Puts him 8 points clear of Slugger. And Matt Malone with no points gained today. He's third. Aulatufu almost got him, but is very much back in the championship fight here with another second place finish. Dempsey not here today, dropped down a fifth. It's Stingray Graham in sixth, Nick Bowen in seventh. It is then Bob's Jelly up to 8th position. A nice gain for him there. Mecharm tied in 8th, technically dropping a position after this one. And then it's Checkers back down to 10th position after climbing up to 6th. But what a fantastic event this one has been. As always, these races, they are my favourite thing to do in the entire week. If you have missed any of the races, then do go and check out the Beehive Bill YouTube channel. All the race replays are available, all the stream replays are available over there, as well as the extended highlights of each of the racings. So all of the best moments you can watch. If you are new around here, please do hit that follow button here on Twitch so that you get notified when I go live. And in order to support me so that I can continue doing these amazing broadcasts and having access to the content on the iRacing service, please do consider subscribing. I hope you have had an absolutely fantastic day today. And I will see you next week as we go out in the American muscles at Watkins Glen. I'll see you then. Goodbye.
Strapped in tight with the steering wheel glow. Engines roar as the tension starts to grow. All the racers lined up feeling the heat. The Matt Malone League is where legends meet. Push the pedal, let the tires scream, chasing glory in the fast lane dream. One wrong move could shatter the fight, but we're speeding through the Patreon night. Heartbeats echo in the revving sound. Each corner sharp, where champions are found. Dust flies high as rivals clash and spin. The path to the podiums, where it all begins. Push the pedal.